Sean Lane here. You're listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. Special table side chat with John Lunatic. He is the CSW Southland Heavyweight Champion. Check out the next CSW Southland show. That's August 26th, live from the Chabanzi Community Center in Chabanzi, Illinois. And make sure to keep listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. You can find us on Spreaker.com. We'll be back next week with a full episode of the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. But follow John Thompson on Facebook for more information about CSW Southland. Best of luck when he defends the heavyweight title August 26th.
This is John Thompson, a.k.a. Lunatic, CSW Pro Wrestler. You're listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Podcast.
So that's an amazing story right there. That you came back. Yep. Are you a fan of the sport? Do you like to watch it like all those years, or were you kind of like focused on other things, endeavors?
I've been a fan. I was a lot bigger fan when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Growing up, but I actually rather do it than watch it.
Right.
I
would too. Sounds like fun.
I mean, I watch WWE, but I don't record it religiously and watch it. During the week, I work, I come home, I go to the gym, get my weight training done and stuff like that, and then do the little bit of kickboxing with Team Genesis, and so pretty busy.
Okay.
During the week.
Sure, yeah.
But when I get home, like on Monday or Thursday nights, I'll turn it on, check it out, but I don't DVR it or nothing to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
But,
it's a lot of it's like tuned audible.
It's not what it used to be.
No, it's not. No,
it's
not at all.
WWE is not very good right now.
I know. I agree.
But,
I agree. I have some good talent.
I don't have the
network.
The network.
Well,
I don't
I'm gonna
have
give you my password, so you got it.
Yeah.
I'll give you my password if you like it.
Cool. Yeah. I don't have the network, so I don't. I'm hearing how good that like the NXT and stuff is.
NXT
I'm hearing
is
how
very good
because it's a lot of indie workers like me
that's
come up and got to there. I'm hearing how much better it is than WWE, but I haven't got the network to watch it. So
it is. It's pretty good. Gargano and Ciampa, they got in there.
Yeah, and I see they brought up a lot of guys like the Kevin Owens and then a lot of the divas.
Yes, definitely. NXT's been getting up there.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out, man. I'm hearing how good it is.
Why do you think that the pro wrestling right now isn't saturated? Why do you think it's not as good as it was in years past?
Well, like the WWE, it's just not. You don't have the characters. I think that stand out like they did back, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And the big thing I don't like about WWE right now is they've kind of, let the tag team division fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
You don't have tag teams like Road Warriors. Doom and Powers of Pain and the Rockers, and you don't have teams
That's
like
the
that
weakest
anymore.
part of their division.
Yes,
That's their weakest division, absolutely.
And it's sad being
is.
A tag team wrestler like
and you've
myself.
won the tag team belt. Too.
Yes,
and
it's kind of sad for me that they don't focus on the tag team division like they used to. It's kind of fell by the wayside. I'd like to see them get back to putting more effort into the tag team division. I mean, they took a step forward. They just brought the Dudley Boys back.
Can't go wrong with that.
But they're kind of toward the twilight of their career. But still, they're one of the best tag teams of all time.
It is, and they're going to be like the leaders of that division. It looks like
I actually one of the recent tag teams I liked that they had, but they broke them up was Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
Oh yeah,
they should have strapped them dudes and let them. For a while, you know what I'm saying?
They should have,
and they broke them up.
They did break them up. They didn't think the Wyatt family wasn't going over separately, or it was something.
I don't know what it was.
Because they made Eric a face.
That gimmick was over. I mean, the whole Wyatt family was over.
Keep them together. And now they brought this other guy. I don't know, Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got an awkward finish. It doesn't look like he did it right last Monday.
I haven't even seen him wrestle yet.
He does this thing where he has a stranglehold. And the limp body, the body goes limp. The first time he did it pretty well, and then he did it to two guys. It looked like he was gassed, and the guy's foot was touching the ground.
I'm not sure who
right?
I heard rumors he might be a former bodybuilder or something they brought in.
Yeah,
I'm not
he was.
sure.
He was.
I'm
He
not
was
sure
actually one of the
his-
Rosebuds.
Was it? Okay, I'm not sure on his story yet. I haven't heard too much about it. I haven't seen him.
Me neither.
I haven't seen him wrestle yet, so.
Yeah, he hasn't actually had a full match yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they had the tag match, but kind of broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last
I haven't
Monday,
got to see
Ambrose
him work yet. Yeah.
And Reigns, yeah.
And
So is there risk for injury like every time you go out there?
oh,
and,
absolutely. I mean, we put our bodies on the line every time. You know, people talk about, oh, pro wrestling's fake, pro wrestling's fake. These guys are athletes, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're putting our bodies on the line every time we go out there.
Right.
You have to trust the guy that you're working. You know,
Oh yeah.
if you know, you got to put your trust in his hands. You're only as good as your partner, the guy you're wrestling. It's almost, like a dance, like having a good dance. If you got a good dance partner,
Yeah.
you're going to do good. If you have a bad dance partner, it's not going to look so good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're putting your health in the other guy's hands with the slams and the picking up, because if he drops you on your head, you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. I think of remember the Owen Hart deal when someone screwed up the
Yeah.
pile driver?
Yeah, and he was never the same after that.
Then
He got a second neck injury. That's what cut his career short.
Was it Owen that screwed up or Stone?
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart gave him a pile driver
he
and
screwed
dumped
it.
him right on his
No.
head. And
That
then
almost ended the whole thing.
that almost ended it there, and then later down the line he re-injured it, and that's
I know.
why he had to
He
retire.
cannot come
before-
back.
Yeah.
He cannot come back. It's
That's
not
why he
worth
had to
it.
retire
No matter
before
X
his
amount
time.
of money or whatever event, WrestleMania, it's not
he
worth
can't
it.
because of his neck.
I mean, he ran the ropes during the Tough Enough show.
Yeah.
They showed he did a little work. He
Yeah.
works out in the ring, but that's
Yeah, but
about
he
it.
won't bump,
Yeah,
though.
he can't,
No, he won't take any bumps.
Can't.
No, not with his neck. So
Yeah.
that was too bad for him because he's one of the greats, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what's the travel schedule like for you, or all these different events that you go to? Are they stacked?
Well, right now I only do CSW. I do occasionally another organization, but mainly I'm CSW, which right now we run twice a month. The North Show, Edison Park Inn up by O'Hare, and then we try to do a Southland show down in the Kankakee Bourbonnais area once a month. So, twice a month. With my age, that's enough for me. You know what I'm saying? But I might be doing a POW show from what I understand coming up.
Oh, okay, with Jimmy.
In November, I think they said something to me about maybe wanting me to do a show.
They want to continue the feud a little bit, or
So I'm not sure what the plan is with
Right,
that,
right.
but
how was it with Jimmy? Did you like working with him?
yeah, actually I've known Jimmy a long time because
Yeah.
I started out, like I said, training in '96 for down in my area, down in the Mantino area for guys,
Okay.
for other organization when I started,
Right.
and that promoter back then used to bring Jimmy in back when he was Firefighter Jim before he was actually Jim Blaze. So I known him since back then, and we kind of, me being out of the business for 12 years, lost touch with him, and now that I'm back in, I'm kind of,
Sure.
reunited with him. But that was last month at Edison Park Inn was the first time we actually wrestled each other,
That's
ever.
awesome.
Even though it was in a tag match, still that's the first time
It
we
was,
ever actually got to work
Tag
each
team
other.
with his regular partner.
Yeah, it was him and Mitch Blake.
Blake.
Psychotic Rage.
They're pretty
Psychotic
rough
Rage.
guys.
Yeah. Psychotic Rage is the name of their tag team.
Okay, yeah,
And
I
then-
remember. Yeah, I've seen them before.
Yeah, and then me, my partner is Braun the Lumberjack,
Okay.
and we're called the Asylum. So yeah,
Are we
so
talking about like the escape?
yeah. So he's a crazy lumberjack, and I'm just a crazy guy from the Asylum that let me out to go
Nice,
beat people up.
nice.
So
Nice.
I hear voices and stuff. They talk to me throughout the match. I'm like, what? Stuff like that. So,
That's cool.
but yeah, so we did a tag match, and they kind of cheated a little bit last month. So we get our return match on the 19th at Edison Park Inn. So
That's
so we can try to
September? Okay,
so we can
great.
try to get our revenge against them.
Cool,
So.
cool. Yeah, well, if I don't get it from me, I'll just come to the event.
Yeah,
I'll try to make it. Yeah, I should be
Yeah.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, just like I
think
said
I'm
about
doing,
that.
on the 20th, I'm doing the pay-per-view. I'm
Yeah.
gonna actually watch it at a Rock. So I'm gonna come out for a pay-per-view. You like? They
Yeah.
do little meetups for these groups.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
like I said, you wanna check out one of our Southland shows.
Oh,
let me
yeah,
know, 'cause
I
I'm one
will,
of the
definitely.
promoters.
I'll come out there.
I can give you
Awesome.
leave a couple comp tickets.
Oh, I
at the door
appreciate it.
for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely be there for that one. That's the one on the October
26th. No,
October-
September.
September 26th.
This month. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Night of all cage matches.
I should be able to make that one too. Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Every
But if
match is
you're a big fan of wrestling, you
Yeah.
like the WWE,
Yeah.
if you've never been to an indie show,
Yeah.
it's
I've been to a few
yeah,
of them. Yeah.
it's fun. I mean,
It is.
you're right there. It's
He
more
knows.
intimate with the
Yeah.
for the fans because you're interacting with the wrestlers.
yeah, it
you know.
is. It's
WWE,
fun.
it's not much of that anymore because it's
Yeah.
there's so many people there and they're putting
Yeah,
on a
it is
match.
just to get in and get out.
Yeah, the indie scene, you're interacting and the wrestlers are interacting with the
Right.
fans a lot more. So
Right.
it's
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely think check
Yeah,
out next time.
we could. Would you be available on a weekday to do it during a weekday to do the podcast? As we would.
I could, but I get off work at 3:30. I could possibly leave at 2:30. I work
Okay.
in Bridgeview, so I'm already halfway up here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm the opposite. I start at 4:30.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
work the night shift at a factory.
Okay, gotcha.
But we'll figure out. Let me see if I could squeeze you in before the. Let me see if I could do
For
something.
the 2 weeks, the
For the
19th,
19th.
yeah, because
We'll figure
I have
something out.
the Edison
Maybe,
Park show,
yeah.
show
Let me
that
see
night.
what the school is doing,
Yeah.
and if not, we can do it on the phone.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
You know what I
That's
mean?
not
and
a big
then,
deal.
And then, yeah, but this will also, I'm gonna put this out like a table side chat. Hey,
All right,
we
cool.
will
That's no
run
problem,
through, John.
Yeah.
and-
Appreciate
run
you
through
having me
John.
on,
Yeah,
so-
no,
That's
thank you
cool.
for coming.
I
Appreciate
grew up
you
in
coming on.
Bridgeview too, so I know
What's
that.
that?
I grew up in Bridgeview.
Okay,
So I
yeah.
know
I
that
work in
area.
Bridgeview. I live in
Oh,
Bourbonnais,
okay.
so
Nice. Yeah, I've been to the show out in Bridgeview a few years ago. I got comp tickets for it.
Uh-huh.
The Chicago Windy City Wrestling.
Windy City.
They
yeah.
had one. They used to hold it at the soccer stadium.
Yeah,
At the Toyota Park.
Yeah.
I went there a couple of years ago, and I heard one year they sold out because they had the Jimmy Valentine there.
Yeah.
So but when I was there, it wasn't too many. It was Abyss was there, and
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels. So
Gotcha.
the two guys.
Yeah.
And Daniels used to wrestle.
Windy
in
City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about like 90s, late 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s, him and Van Dam too.
A lot of the guys in Windy City,
Right.
the older guys that have been around, and CSW came from Windy City.
Really,
Steve
yeah.
Boz, Windy City guy.
Right.
Hunter Payne, my partner, Jeff Holly, aka
Right.
Hunter Payne. He's also a Windy City guy. A lot of them guys.
Right. When you see
know,
him still around,
Yeah.
right?
No, they closed shop,
they
I
did.
think, years ago. That's why them
Really?
guys came. Some of them, they started CSW, and
Oh, I
some of
gotcha.
it has nothing to do with Windy City, but
Right,
a lot of
right,
your
a lot of
guys that
guys.
went and started CSW
Oh, okay.
are former Windy City guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Lewis, I took him to AAW.
Yeah.
it was his first indie show. He had a great time.
Yeah, it's fun. If you've never been to an indie show, you'll have a blast. 'Cause
Oh,
it's,
I always do.
yeah.
Yeah, just let me know, man.
Oh, yeah, we'll do CSW next
that's-
weekend on
Everybody got a cool show.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
pro wrestling.
go to an indie show, man. You'll have a blast because you're right there and you're interacting.
$4 beers. I mean, it's a cheap night.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a pretty affordable night.
Yeah.
You buy a couple autographs, $20, $30
Yeah, I think,
you spend. I like to take pictures of everyone.
I think the Edison Park Inn shows that
Yeah.
Steve Boz runs and Marco.
Yeah.
It's $12 at the door. 12 and 15 if you want front row or you want a table.
That's a steal.
It's
That's
$15. Otherwise, it's regular seating is $12. And it's such a perfect little room. It's a little like room upstairs, a bar upstairs. There's a bar right there. We
Right.
set the ring up and everybody's around it. And you get 150 people packed in there, and it's standing room
Energy.
only.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a pretty cool little venue. So.
That's awesome.
And down at the Southland shows, we do $10 in advance, 12 at the door. So,
Cool.
yeah, so it's
What location you go in Southland?
Southland right now. We were running at the Sportsplex right there in Bourbonnais. We're dealing with private owners, but unfortunately, the investment firm that owns the place
Right.
kind of threw the private owner out and sent in a management team. So we're kind of unable to come to terms with a deal of continuing to run our shows there. So we had to look for a new venue. The show we did last Friday was in Shabance, little town, 1,200 people. It's Shabance Civic Center. It's about 10 minutes south of Kankakee.
Okay.
And we did good. We had about 150 people, so that's where this show is going to be. We only booked 2 right off the bat to see how we were going to do, because it's a new venue. And so we booked the 2 shows, and that's all we booked right off the bat. So we wanted to see how it goes. If it didn't work out, we were going to try to, find something else. But we did pretty good. We had about 150.
Awesome.
So hopefully we can continue to grow and build that area because.
Definitely. And you have a good community following.
Yeah.
The word gets out.
Yeah, because all our fans from Kankakee and Bradley, Bourbonnais area, they travel down there to see us because it's only 10, 12 minutes south.
Okay.
And then we also flyered down that area, hit the little small towns around that area, and we drew some new fans. So
that's good.
Hopefully we can bring that together. And
that's a good night when you get 150
and keep building. So.
Is that a good night, 150 or 200?
Yeah, that's not bad. There's nights, indie wrestling. It's a crapshoot. You may get 75 one night, 200 another show. You never know what to expect.
Oh no, and I was at that Windy City show, and it started raining, and the GA where I was at was outdoors, and they had everyone on the stage, which had a tarp under the ring.
Oh yeah.
And we went up there because it was raining. People were like, "Hey, you can't be up there." I'm like, "It's raining."
Yeah.
And they eventually didn't care. So we actually got good seats for the main event with this and just for Daniels. If you were standing, but still, we got to at least get out of the rain.
Gotcha.
So. Wow.
How hard is it to come up with like a finisher or like your style of wrestling in the ring?
Oh, like your style and maybe like your character also.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending process of learning. You never stop learning. If you stop learning, then your time in the wrestling business is going to be cut short. You got to continue to evolve your character and your style in the ring. Otherwise, people lose interest. Classic case. Look at the Undertaker.
Yeah.
How many times he kind of changed his style and his character a little bit, little tweaks to keep people interested. I mean, you have to do that. Otherwise, you see the same thing for 10 years straight. People get a little bored by that.
Yeah.
So
You're
it's
right.
a constant change and progression of your character to keep people involved.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You see that a lot in wrestling, like where people just get bored of like characters or wrestlers.
It happens if you don't evolve and like I said, switch it up and try to come up with little different tweaks and stuff on your character and your in-ring style. People will get bored with you after a while. So you have to be innovative, and a lot of the things I do and my partner do when we come out, we don't talk about it. We're kind of spur of the moment, and we just do some crazy stuff. I mean, it's nuts, Yeah, one show he French fries from a fan. Started chewing them. And he's back, and then he gets back wearing it was like a fatal 4-way tag match. He grabs some, French fries from a fan. He's chewing them, and he gets up on the second rope, looks down at me. So I started caulking like a bird, caw, 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 going like that, and he spits the chewed up French fries in my mouth, and I ate them.
Wow.
And the fans were like, oh my God, So we do a lot of crazy stuff like that. That's something we did. Yeah, spur of the moment. A lot of stuff we do is spur of the moment. We don't talk about let's go out there, let's do this. It's just spur of the moment, dude. We're at, and that's what keeps it fresh because we don't even know what we're gonna do when we go out there. So.
And that was just on the fly.
That was on spur of the
moment. While the match started.
Yeah, while the match was going on.
While the match was going on.
We
awesome.
weren't. Neither one of us were in the ring at the time because it was a fatal 4-way tag match.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's. We just do some crazy stuff.
I do see that though, especially at the house shows and everything. Undertaker one time, he took water and he splashed on himself and he rocked his head.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing, I think you see on my Facebook, that laugh, that had to be not planned. That was the most bizarre thing I ever saw.
Yeah, it was.
You saw that at the SummerSlam when Undertaker gave this look. It was amazing.
I didn't see it.
And then he gave him that look, and I was just like, this is so bizarre. You've never seen Taker crack a smile, never mind laughing.
Yeah.
You know, that at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's the most bizarre look
I did
I've
see
ever
that.
seen him or anyone else give.
I
And
did see that.
it's just stuff like that the fans buy up. Neither. I agree with you on that one.
It really made no sense.
Yeah, it did.
I didn't like it because he taps out, the ref doesn't see it, they ring the bell, and the ref's like, no. I also didn't like to out and hits him with a chair. You never want a celebrity.
I know, that's true.
Like that.
Yeah,
That's
true.
like the sharp angle they did.
Yeah, you never want a celebrity coming out, being involved in any of the match, especially when it's a title match.
Exactly.
And I didn't like that either.
Tyson did it.
Yeah.
He did it.
I didn't like the ending of that one either. So yeah, SummerSlam.
Yeah, you
kind
have
of
to
was a disappointment to me.
protect the
You know
business.
what's
Yeah. Sean Lane here. You're listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. Special table side chat with John Lunatic. He is the CSW Southland Heavyweight Champion. Check out the next CSW Southland show. That's August 26th, live from the Chabanzi Community Center in Chabanzi, Illinois. And make sure to keep listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. You can find us on Spreaker.com. We'll be back next week with a full episode of the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. Follow John Thompson on Facebook for more information about CSW Southland. Best of luck when he defends the heavyweight title August 26th.
This is John Thompson, a.k.a. Lunatic, CSW Pro Wrestler. You're listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Podcast.
Well, you are listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. It is now the Saturday, September 19th, and what a show we've got for you. We've got a good buddy of mine, a CSW wrestler. He is currently CSW Southland Heavyweight Champion as well as co-promoter of CSW Southland. He squares off against Irish Sean Mulligan September 26th in a steel cage in the main event of CSW Southland to defend his title in the Chabanzi Civic Center. Get your tickets now for next Saturday. And welcome back to the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling Podcast. John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good,
couple
man.
Weeks since we last met
Yeah,
up,
it's been a couple weeks. Had a good time with the little sit down at the table.
Awesome.
Glad to be back. Thanks for
Awesome.
having me back.
Oh,
to
no problem.
Do the
And-
official one here. So.
Oh, definitely. And if you want to chime in, we're also going to talk about
Gotcha.
the Ring of Honor show last Saturday, Reloaded Tour. Really great event they put on, as they always do at the Frontier Fieldhouse. And we're going to look at Night of Champions as
Gotcha.
well. So, do some predictions.
Okay.
A couple predictions you want to chime in, and we've also got your buddy here.
Doug Preston. He's a CSW trainee right now. He's currently training with Steve Boz up at the training center, and he's had a few matches so far, and we're trying to get him back in there. He's he's kind of being mentored by me and Hunter Payne, so we got to get him on track and get him back in the ring. So
That's great.
He knows what he's got to do in order to get back in there. So
Yeah, and that's great to give him a chance and give him back. And you guys are both veterans of the professional wrestling business, so you can definitely help him. And also tonight, what we got going tonight, man? We've got a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
Talk about Nico Boom Boom Jefferson for a minute. You're a training partner at Team Genesis.
Oh yeah, yes.
And we just interviewed him this week on a Fight Report.
Yes.
And he is going to have his hands full with Bobby Lee, who's 1-0,
Yes,
amateur
yeah.
title online, 8 talents vote down from Minnesota,
Yes,
Austin,
absolutely.
Minnesota. Get your tickets if you're there. In the
Absolutely.
area.
Yes, my teammate, I currently train with Team Genesis MMA in Bradley, Illinois with Coach Doug Keast, and I train with Nico and some of the other guys, Brendan Toller, Zach Klonowski. And Nico's got a big fight tonight in Minnesota. Wished I could be there, but I got my own show tonight, so wasn't able to go be there for him and support him. But good luck to him and bring that title home, Nico.
Definitely, Nico. Bring that title home. And John, you've also got a match tonight as well.
Yeah,
CSW Northland.
Yes, I do. We have a show tonight. I'll be going straight to after this interview. It's in Chicago. It's on Edison Park Inn. It's on Olmsted near O'Hare Airport. So you want to come check us out tonight? Come to Edison Park Inn. And tickets are $12 general, 15 front row, and table seats. So come check us out tonight. Food, drinks, full bar. So it's going to be a good one.
Awesome. Well, John, thank you very much for being on the Voice of the Voiceless Wrestling podcast. For people who don't know you, I want to dive in and ask you, why did you become a pro wrestler, and why did you decide to actually perform instead of watching on television?
Gotcha. Well, I was a fan when I was a kid growing up. I used to watch, back when I was, little, the Bob Luce wrestling that used to be on here in Chicago. I grew up watching that. Then I got into the WWE, which used to be the WWF, now it's WWE, WCW. I grew up watching it, and I always messed around a little with it back when I was in high school, with some of the guys. We'd do a little stuff messing around, and it just went from there. As I grew up, when I was I think I started it was 96, I was 25 years old. And when I was 25, a local organization started up right in my area and opened a training center. So I was like, man, I should try it. So I went and started trained for about 6 months before I had my first match with that organization, and that's how it all got started. So yeah.
And you did wrestle for a few years.
Yes, I wrestled for about 3.5 years.
Unfortunately, there was an accident that happened. Take us back to 2000. You were an active wrestler.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, it came to an end.
Yes.
Due to the ATV accident, you hit a tree.
Yes.
You told us, and we can see the scar on your head.
Yes.
I mean, this is very serious injury, life-threatening.
Yes.
Would you say? And how did that affect your career moving forward? Tell us. The story of that.
I like I said, I started training in '96, and I wrestled. I had my first match, I think, was March of 1997. And I wrestled for an organization in my area, and then I wrestled for a couple others. I wrestled for an organization down in St. Louis for a couple of years, and then until 2000. And then I think it was July of 2000. I was in an ATV accident. Didn't have a helmet on. I smacked a tree. Ended up shattering my skull. Had to have emergency surgery a couple weeks later because it was pretty much a life-threatening deal. So I had major reconstructive surgery on my head. I had 3 titanium plates put in my head to hold everything back together. And that pretty much ended my career, like on the spot, right there. It was done and over with right there. And I was off work for about 2 months, and it took me about a year to fully recover, to feel back to my normal self. It really took a lot out of me, and that ended my career right there. And once after a year was up, the doctors told me I could do it again if I wanted to, but the organizations I were wrestling with and stuff like that, they all kind of went under at the time. So I was didn't know anybody. This was still right after the accident, so that's why. Okay. So I had nowhere to go. So I pretty much, I guess that was the end of my career. So I sat out for 12 years, and
there just wasn't an opportunity at that time.
Yeah. I didn't
get back, but the doctors, they didn't advise for it. But
they told me I could get back in there, and that it would be fine and stuff like that.
And that was like about a year.
About a year later after the accident, after I was fully recovered.
Wow, and then that's just like a normal person. Who doesn't perform at a competition or athlete. Us, it's going to take us a long time to recover, and then a guy like you, it's just devastating. Like, how can you even think about coming back?
Yeah, it was tough, but I set out for 12 years, but over that 12-year time period, I always thought about it. I'm always like, I want to get back in there one more time if an opportunity presented itself one more time, because I didn't like ending my career on an accident. I wanted to end it on my own terms. So over them 12 years, I was like, man, just give me one more.
Definitely.
Just give me one more match, So in February of 2012, I started training again with another organization, which I got hooked up with a guy, Ivan Manson. I met through a mutual friend, started talking to him, and he got me involved with this other organization where I started training again. I started training like a rookie again at age 41.
Wow.
Just like training like the rookies again, for 4 or 5 months. Everything started coming back to me pretty quickly, so I was like, I think I can do this. And I ended up training with them for about 4 months. I had one match with them. They did one show, and then right after that show, they pretty much closed shop. So and I wasn't happy with the one match. I couldn't even, I couldn't even use my own character.
Sure.
And wasn't really happy with that. But then when that happened, I was like, well, I guess it's over again.
Right.
Then I was at a party with Ivan Manson, and I ended up meeting Hunter Payne, Jeff Holly, aka Hunter Payne, through him, and he lives right there in my area in Bourbonnais, and he wrestled for CSW, and we got kind of talking, and explained my story to him, that I used to wrestle back in the old days, and I've been out for 12 years, but I've been training again for like 4 months, and and I told him my story, and he wanted to bring CSW to the Bourbonnais area, but he said he needed some help with that, with the promoting and the finances of that. He couldn't do it alone. So without knowing me for anything, and knowing I had been out for 12 years, never seeing me work before, wrestle, anything, not knowing anything about me, just through a mutual friend, he asked me if I would help him out with it, and he said if I did, he would book me on every show. So that's
Awesome.
what happened, and that's
Awesome.
where it ended up. We've built a great friendship. It's not just a business, friendship. Our families, our kids have become quite close, and it's just been a wonderful experience, and it gave me the opportunity to get back in the ring, and I owe it all to him. Since I've been back, I've been a tag team champion, and I'm the current CSW Southland heavyweight champion, and I never expected that or ever thought that would happen. So it's been a wonderful experience.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
thank
a
you.
great honor for you.
And I I owe it all to Jeff, and Hunter Payne, because he gave me a shot, so
Definitely.
and I took the ball and I ran with it. So
Tell us about Lunatic. You're John Thompson.
Yes.
You're a hardworking guy.
Mhm.
Working class, and you're a family. Big family man. But just tell us about the other side. Tell us about Lunatic. And were you Lunatic before this accident happened?
Yes.
Was that your character back then?
Yes,
Tell us the
yes.
psyche of the character,
Gotcha.
if you could.
All right. Well, my wrestling character is Lunatic. I play a crazy guy from the asylum they let out to go beat people up. So, some of the stuff I do isn't too far off from the real person. So, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a little crazy in my own way. But I wear the face paint and stuff like that, and they let me out to go beat people up. So that's kind of the character,
Right.
and that's been my character the whole time, even back
Sure.
when I wrestled before. Little tweaks you add to it, and little changes, over the years to keep people
Right.
interested. You don't want to. You got to evolve with wrestling and the fans and stuff. You do the same thing for 10 years, they'll get a little
yeah.
bored. So you
Definitely.
got to keep it new and fresh, and kind of change it up, and subtle changes to your gimmick and your in-ring skills and stuff like that to keep the fans interested, or they get bored,
Yes.
So it's evolved. My
Definitely.
character has evolved over
Awesome.
the years. So.
Hey, that's amazing. That you kept that character,
Mhm.
and then tell us about that story again, because during the match, impromptu.
Okay,
you guys
I
did,
know the story
really
you're talking
awesome.
about.
Yeah.
That's me and my tag partner,
Yeah.
Braun the Lumberjack.
Braun, yes.
Yeah, we're known as the Asylum. That's the name of our tag team
Right.
and our
Hunter
little
is the
group.
guy you're
Hunter Payne
fighting
is
against
yeah,
most of the time. I saw
yeah.
one of your matches.
Yeah, he's the co-promoter of Southland,
Okay.
and we've had our run-ins in the ring also. So
He's against the Asylum.
yeah,
at
yeah,
this point.
yeah,
He just had
kinda.
enough of you guys.
yeah, but me and Braun the Lumberjack, we were in a tag match. It was a fatal 4-way tag match up at Edison Park Inn, and it was me and Braun the Lumberjack, and then Hunter Payne and Marco Anthony, I do believe, was one of the other tag teams, and then who was the other ones? I can't remember the other two tag teams, but anyway, it was a fatal 4-way. And during the match, while neither me or Braun, the Lumberjack, was in the ring at the time, we work the crowd a lot. We like to, get the crowd involved in our matches, So he went out and he grabbed some French fries from one of the fans, started eating them. He's, in the middle of the match, he's chewing on some French fries. So then he stands up on the second rope, looks down at me, and starts, opening his mouth with the French fries. So I look up at him, and just out of the blue, without even thinking about it, I started cawing like a bird, like caw, caw. He spits the chewed up French fries into my mouth, and I chewed them up and I ate them. And the crowd's like, oh my God, So that's just some of the crazy stuff we do, So it got a rise out of the fans. So we do some crazy stuff to get the fans involved,
Definitely. And you find that's that's a lot of fun doing
that.
Yeah. Doing stuff just impromptu like that.
Yeah.
Old ladies are gonna be disgusted by the teens to they're gonna be digging it like, we want more,
Yeah.
You're gonna get a couple canes thrown your way. What you doing, young man?
Yeah. So it's
old ladies. You ever have those run-ins? I heard that the wrestlers love dealing with the old ladies.
Oh yeah. They're funny. They'll get, some of them will get pretty dirty with you. They'll say some stuff to you. There's a lot of fans that really get into it. I've had fans that I legit thought wanted to fight me before.
Wow. That's crazy.
So security had to come up and grab one of the guys because he come up at me he come toward me very aggressively, and security grabbed him right away. And I think they ended up throwing him out, but that's part of it. I mean, if you're making somebody that mad, I guess you're doing your job.
And keep them coming too.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And you built a great relationship with the community in Kankakee.
Yeah, Shabance, it's actually pronounced. So.
Yeah, and you found that you've got a lot of support from the community.
Yeah.
They're coming out to support your shows, and then you built a good relationship with them.
Yeah, yeah.
How important is that?
It's very important. If being a promoter down there, you got to build a fan base, and if you don't get a quality fan base of regulars, and you can't.
No fans,
no money to run another show because this is, the finances is coming out of my bank account and Hunter Payne's bank account, and also our third partner is Eric Olson, who is also my manager of the asylum. It's us three, and it's basically, it's our money, our own personal money that we finance these shows with, and if we start, if we lose money, there's no more shows, so you have to build a certain fan base and get the word out and have these regulars come and stuff and try to build a bigger fan base because otherwise, you start losing money, then it's putting a hurt on your own personal bank account.
And you guys been able to do it straightforward for about 3 to 4 years.
Yes, the show next Saturday on September 26th at Shabance Civic Center is actually going to be our 3-year anniversary show. It's
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's CSW Southland Dissension 3. Cold Steel is the name of it because it's going to be a night of all cage matches.
Yes.
So that's going to be a big one for us. So.
Awesome. Well, I just wanted to mention that when you returned to the sport in 2012, successfully being out 12 years.
Yes.
How did your mind and your body adjust to it?
It was a little, it was a little tough.
When you started competing.
It was a little tough again. Like I said, training like a rookie again for like 4 months. Things hurt.
Right.
Hurt worse than it did when I was in my mid-20s. But, I made it through it. And then also the mind aspect, it was a little tougher on me, a little older. Memory ain't what it used to be, especially after the accident, get a major concussion like that. It kind of puts a kibosh on some of your memory, So it was a lot tougher. It was a lot tougher making this comeback. So. But, I kept myself in pretty good shape over the years. So, physically, I'm in better shape now than I was back then, because I was kind of, didn't have the workout regimen I did that I do now back then. So I'm in better shape physically now than I was back then. So
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see what you got in store Saturday.
Yeah.
Again, all night of steel cage matches.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to see, across the board, steel cage matches with different kinds of
stipulations.
Predicament stipulations.
Yes.
Before your match with Sean Mulligan, what should the fans be looking forward to?
Before my match, you're gonna see a night of some great matches. You're gonna see some young, newer rookie guys in the beginning of the card get in there and get to experience a cage match for the first time. So you're gonna see some young up and coming talent, at the beginning of the show, and then your mid matches are going to start stepping it up to some more experienced guys, and you're going to see, like I said, there's different stipulations we're having for the the cage matches,
Right.
so you're not seeing the same cage match all
Right.
night.
That's-
I think one of them is going to be a hardcore cage match. So yeah, I think Braun the Lumberjack, my tag partner, is going to be taking on Ivan Manson in that. I think it's going to be a hardcore cage match. So we're going to have different stipulations. You may see one climb over the top, one through the door,
Wow.
pinfall. There's going to be different stipulations.
It's going to be exciting.
Yes, it's going to be a night of excitement, and you're going to see some different ways of how the matches are supposed to end.
Awesome.
Instead of just seeing the same cage match all night. So
Sounds like an
yeah.
amazing thing. And again, I want to plug. We're talking to John Thompson, CSW heavyweight champion, taking on Sean Mulligan at September 26th. Ascension Cold Steel from Shabans Civic Auditorium. Get your tickets now. That's Saturday, September 26th.
That's right.
Whole night of steel cage matches. And before I get into Sean Mulligan, I
Yes.
want to ask you, personally, what is your favorite match that you ever performed in?
My favorite match I ever performed in, I would have to say it was when I won the CSW Southland heavyweight title against. It was me against Hunter Payne. He was the champion at the
Yes.
time, and I was a big underdog going into that match, and unfortunately. They had some issues with his manager, Johnny Wild. They had some little miscommunication, and I was able to capitalize on it and get the win and win the CSW Southland heavyweight title. So that was a big moment for me. First time I ever held a single title of any kind
Right.
ever in my career. So it was pretty special night.
Awesome.
For me, and then also I won it against Hunter Payne, who is good friend of mine, and
definitely.
even though we have our differences in the ring, it's a business. So sometimes friends got to fight, and so yeah,
Very, very
it's-
important to your success.
Yeah, exactly. So. But yeah, that was probably my favorite match, and it was a very special night for me, and I'm just honored by it.
I believe
to be
that's the one I had watched.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm honored. I'm honored to have a title, so I'm truly honored.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we hopefully you defend it successfully.
Yeah, I hope
against
so. We'll see
Irish
next
Sean
time.
Mulligan.
Yes, yeah, we'll see.
Your favorite dream match? What would be your dream match with any wrestler currently performing nowadays?
Currently performing.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's some guys still guys out there,
Definitely.
digging in. They may not wrestle like they used to, but I think the Undertaker would be pretty cool, even though he's a lot larger man than me. But he's his gimmick and my gimmick would make for a pretty neat story.
Definitely,
so
definitely.
pretty
That'd
neat
be
story and
definitely
pretty
an
neat
honor.
match. Yeah, so I think that would be probably one of them. So.
Definitely, and that would
Yeah.
sell out. The
Yeah, because he's
in a quick
he's
minute. It'd
absolutely.
be on pay-per-view. It'd be one of those things.
He's been over for
Yeah.
well over 20 years,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then my character. I think the characters would tell a pretty neat story. So
Definitely. I'll have to do that in the video game.
Yeah.
It comes out, create chips.
Yeah,
put you in
there
the
you go.
games,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you win. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great answer.
Yeah,
I think
thanks.
both your characters mesh well. Great combination.
Yeah.
You guys are both kind of brawler with that
Yeah.
hard edge, but
Yeah.
also very athletic.
Yes.
From what I've seen. So
Yes.
you guys would definitely mix well.
Yes.
It's a great match. Hopefully you can get an evil mad scientist to put it
Oh
on
yeah,
one day.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, we can have a simulation or something.
Definitely. Well, Saturday, September 26th, again, you take on Irish Sean Mulligan.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about him. You're going to be locked inside a steel cage with him. The
Yes.
title is on the line.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about him and what the fans can expect from both of you. Give us a background about Sean, though.
Irish car bomb, Sean Mulligan. He's a great wrestler. He's going to be a champion someday. I don't think he's going to get it done next Saturday, but he's come along, man. He's beaten everybody that we've thrown in front of him down at Southland, and he's definitely earned this title shot.
Definitely.
And it's going to be my toughest title defense to date.
Yeah.
He's on a roll. I've been on a roll, so one of our rolls is going to come to an end that night. So hopefully I'm going to come out on top. But yeah, he's very deserving of this title match, and he's been waiting for it a little while. It got kind of thrown on the back burner due to some issues I had with our general manager, who was out to get me. But we put the kibosh on that, and now he's finally getting his shot. So. But unfortunately for him, it's coming in a steel cage, which my character's been locked up for a long time inside of steel cages and all kinds of cages. So I'm right at home in there. It's kind of be my sanctuary for the Lunatic. So yeah, that might not be the best stipulations for him to get his title match in.
Sure. What's your prediction?
Actually, my prediction is it's going to be a tough, hard-fought battle. Yeah. He's definitely going to bring a fight to me. He's been waiting a long time for this title shot, and he's hungry, and he's going to come out. He's going to come out hard, and I'm going to have to be on. I'm going to have to be on top of my game. I have to be at my best to beat Sean Mulligan. He's no joke, man. So
you're training hard as well.
Oh yeah,
you're mixing it up.
Yeah,
you're doing something outside of just the mat work.
Well, yeah, I'm getting my weight training in 4 to 5 days a week. I'm also training with Team Genesis, mixed martial arts. So
you gotta watch out for the
strikes, so I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, and there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. So we're gonna go toe to toe, and pretty positive that I'm gonna come out on top in that one. And
you're predicting a pinfall sub.
I'm gonna win by pinfall. I'm gonna get the pin on him. So
you're gonna hit your
I predict that I'm gonna hit reverse DDT, and it's gonna be all over.
Awesome.
So, that's my prediction. So
hey, we can't wait to see it again. It comes everyone's way. It's Saturday, September 26th. Fans, Civic Auditorium. Get your tickets now. Check out CSW on Southland on Facebook.
Yep.
And follow John Thompson on
right.
Facebook as well. And John, I want to thank you very much for being on the Voice of the Voices Professional Wrestling
Thank
podcast.
you. I appreciate it.
And
thanks for having me on.
We have time to stick around. We're going to I'm going to continue the podcast.
Absolutely.
You want to chime in now and then?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Sure,
I'll stick around.
So
also, like I said,
everybody can stick around. We're going to do a little bit of ROH, but mostly the Night of Champions pay-per-view coming up this Sunday as well. Some more information for CSW.
Like I said, if you want to know more about CSW Southland, just go to our Facebook page, CSW Southland on Facebook. Click like. You'll get all your updates, news about all the events we have and stuff like that. If you're looking to become a pro wrestler and you want to get into pro wrestling, go to ChicagoStyleWrestling.com to get more information, or contact Steve Boz, who is well known in the area as one of the best independent wrestlers in the area over the years. He's one of the head trainers there. So awesome. There you go.
Best of luck come Saturday, September 26th.
Appreciate
when you defend the CSW heavyweight title. Hopefully you come back for another podcast and keep the belt strap retained on you. Yeah, I love taking a picture of it. Thanks for a lot. So we continue things here on the Voice of Voices Pro Wrestling Podcast. John Thompson with us, as well as Doug Preston. And what we're going to talk about a little bit is that Ring of Honor wrestling show. They came over for the Reloaded tour. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it. Really good show. I mean, Ring of Honor, they always bring it. Got to see a couple good the match of the night to me obviously was Roderick Strong. He took on another top opponent in Bobby Fish. Fish got the victory, surprisingly enough, with his finisher. Strong. I'm so high on him. I think he is. Well, he's absolutely my favorite in the promotion right now, Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have the network, so I don't get to see. I don't get to see ROH and the NXT and stuff like that. Doug's got it and he watches all that, so he'll be able to chime in more on this than me.
About the Ring of Honor show or Ring of Honor in general?
Well, I wasn't really there, but my former partner, actually, beautiful Brad Kevins, actually wrestled his first match for Ring of Honor that show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
in a tag match. He was in a losing effort. I think he wrestled the Kingdom.
Yes, that was the first match. Yeah.
Yeah, he wrestled the Kingdom in I think their opening match.
Awesome. Hey, well, congratulations. Give a shout out. Beautiful Brad Kevins. Awesome. Yes. We'll have to try to get him on the show.
I'll try to see if
Congratulations
I can
to him. Yes, definitely. Awesome. So, we'd like to see guys, come up to the national stage of Ring of Honor.
He's another young guy, rookie for CSW, and he's a really small guy, but
great.
He works hard. So.
Hey man, that's some great news. Yeah. And then we also got to see Jay Lethal perform. I'm very high on him. Of course, he's got dual titles there.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him. Since TNA.
Yeah, he's been kicking it hard, man. I mean, he's the television champion, the world champion there, and he got it done against Moose. He hit the springboard DDT. I forget the name, the Lethalizer. He got the win done, and then of course we're going to talk about just the main event for a minute. The Young Bucks came in, took on Future Shock, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, who've just recently reunited. Great match, tons of high flying spots. Too much to remember.
Yeah.
You guys have to just watch the match by TV yourself. Of course, Young Bucks got the win. They've been kicking it hard. Since they're. Than the Bullet Club. So that was a great Ring of Honor show. Can't wait for them to come back with New Japan.
I'd love to see that.
Show.
I'd love to see
get
that.
Our super tickets for that one.
So I do watch New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access TV on Friday night. So I enjoy New
Awesome.
Japan. I'd like
Yeah.
to check that out.
Yeah, I believe that Destination America cards ROH.
Ring of
Okay.
Honor's on Destination
Yeah.
America, along with Impact.
Impact Wrestling.
Okay, I gotta see if
those guys.
I gotta see if I get that channel. I'm not
Yeah,
even sure,
yeah,
so.
but I'm very high on New Japan as well.
yeah.
Can't wait. We had a couple New Japan guys there. One guy was there from, of course, the Bullet Club. They've been riding
Absolutely.
high. So, anything you'd like to say about New Japan and guy that you like watching in particular?
Actually, I do like New Japan Pro Wrestling. I like it because it's more of they wrestle more stiff, and it has more of an MMA
It does.
Background to it. You see a lot of MMA moves and submission moves. It has a lot of MMA
Definitely
built into it. So I really enjoy that about it.
Me too.
So.
Me too. I can't wait to see what they bring to Chicago. And then, of course, this Sunday, September 20th, of course, Night of Champions, WWE Network will be, you can view it on there for $9.99, of course, And a lot of things going into this pay-per-view. I mean, a lot of returns. A lot of guys we haven't seen in years come back. The Dudleys took on the New Day. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say about that, John?
Yeah, well, hopefully the Dudleys take the titles. Doesn't the New Day have them again?
Yeah, New Day is the champs.
I don't follow WWE. I don't watch it religiously, but I hope the Dudley boys get the win because I'm not really big on the New Day gimmick. So yeah.
You're not feeling it, yeah.
No, I'm not really feeling it.
It's a funny gimmick. I'm not against it, but at the same time, Dudleys would be great to come back and get it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say so?
Oh, yeah, nice, but the New Day, they are pretty popular there.
Oh yeah, they are.
Fans.
Definitely.
But so I'd say if I can make a prediction, New Day, stealing a victory from the Dudleys.
You never know. They continue the feud. I would definitely have the Dudleys winning. That's my prediction. Someone's going to go through a table. If they don't win the belt, someone's going through a table.
Yeah.
For
Whether
sure.
win or lose, somebody's going through a table. That I could probably pretty much guarantee.
And then we get to see Nikki versus Charlotte. Of course, Nikki got the longest reigning Divas record. Mm-hmm. Shortly, what do you guys think about Charlotte? I think she's going to get it done against Nikki.
Yeah,
it's her time.
Yeah,
Charlotte, I think she's going to get it done. I think because Nikki just set the record for having a. So I think it's since she just set that record, I think it's about time for her to dump it. So I think they're really giving Charlotte some good push. So I think she's going to get it done.
It's good, and she's the daughter of Ric Flair.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
She's going to be the dominant Divas champion, of course.
So
definitely.
She's got some good in-ring skills. Of
course. She does. Yes,
of course, because of her dad.
So. Great look. So as well. So I absolutely agree. Then we're also going to see, of course, Cena taking on Rollins in the first of Rollins' matches. This is going to be for the U.S. title. I see Cena coming out on top.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to get it because of the way it ended at the last one. With Jon Stewart getting involved. So I think he's going to get his revenge and get his title back. So
me too. I think so as well. And Rollins holding U.S. title, he's not really defending it, so we didn't see that title dropped from him. Of course, we get to see Kevin Owens take on another tough opponent for the Intercontinental title, Ryback.
Yes.
I got KO. He's got to win that belt.
Yes, I like Kevin Owens in that one also. I think it's his time. It's great story with him. Indie guy that's come up through the ranks to NXT and stuff, and earned his way to where he's at. So that's what I like about him, and I hope he gets it done. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then we go to the main event. Sting, the Icon, returned, of course, to Raw. We saw what happened. Yep. He took out Seth Rollins, stole the statue after Rollins won at SummerSlam. This is going to be a match that, Sting's coming back. They want to do as many matches for him in WWE as possible before he gets into Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. I don't see the Stinger getting it done. Seth Rollins is going to find a way to win, and it might be Kane, right? What do you think? Kane might come back?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what the story is with Kane.
Yeah, because he showed up on Raw.
Okay, did he?
Very shortly.
I didn't even see it Monday
but I know
night,
the Authority took everybody out. From the Authority, is Kane is out. J&J Security, they're out.
Okay,
so I think Kane may play a factor in it, or Seth Rollins just will flukily get the win. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I think Seth is just the man of the hour. I mean, he's the heel champ, of course.
Yeah.
He's a classic,
I agree with you. I think he's going to get it done and defend the belt successfully because Sting, how much longer is he going to be around?
Exactly.
How many more titles? How many
Exactly.
more matches are right now? He's just, he's limited. He's not really going to be doing a full schedule, so I don't really see him winning the belt. Because how often would he defend it even if
Right.
he won? So,
Exactly.
So
I don't
think,
see him
yeah.
do that full time.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
when Brock held the belt, it kind of
Yeah.
held the belt when he was
Yeah,
there every
so-
month.
So I think Seth gets it done.
Me too. And also, I didn't want to forget about the other match we're going to have, the Wyatt family, including
yeah.
Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Braun Strowman.
Oh, we finally get to see him in the ring, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in there yet.
Taking on, of course, the former Shield faction members, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and a mystery third partner. Any idea who we're going to see as that third partner? Any idea at all?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's somebody that's probably they're going to bring back that hasn't been there in a while, because if it was somebody active and all it was wrestling full time with them, I think they would have announced it. So I think it's going to be a special guest, somebody coming back. But who it is, I'm not really sure.
Why don't you rebrand someone? Why don't you take Fandango? Why don't you make him the third member of the Shield?
Yeah,
Why don't you? I just off the top of my head, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
No, you make him as his old gimmick, as his other, you give him another name.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I'm just saying, like you said, return.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head,
Yeah,
I was
I'm
thinking some guy you just change his gimmick, bring him in there. And then, obviously make it. Now, don't say it's the Shield right away, but obviously he's like the unofficial member of the unofficial
I'm not
Shield.
sure where they're going with
Anything
that.
for that, though?
I don't know who it would be,
Mm-hmm.
but if I could think, maybe they might bring up another NXT man.
Yes,
Yeah.
that too.
Another NFT
There was
guy.
talks of Baron Corbin, even had him on the website,
Yeah.
but
Right.
it wasn't. They had to take it down right away. It was an accident. So yeah, you're right about that as well.
I'd like to see maybe him, or maybe they even bring Samoa Joe up.
Oh wow, yeah.
battle.
You never know. Whoever gets that spot is instantly thrown into the spot.
Yeah, right into the mix.
Which is good. So, and especially with the Wyatt family, I think the Wyatts are going to get it done though. Braun Strowman, he's gonna wreck house. I think Bray's always going to get that, that finish right. Sister Abigail.
Yes, I agree with you on that one as well. I think the Wyatts are going to get it done. It's going to be a hard fought match back and forth, but I think in the end the Wyatts are gonna pull something out.
Definitely
to get the win in that one. So
yeah, definitely, I see so as well. And I want to thank. That's the end of the podcast. Voice the Voiceless Pro Wrestling Podcast. You can follow us every month. Follow me, Sean Lennon, on Periscope. Also, CT Wrestling Fan on Twitter. Also on Facebook. Just follow me, Sean Lennon. We're going to have the Voice of the Voiceless Pro Wrestling webpage up soon. As soon as we get the new logo, which I'm getting designed. Of course, we'll have some T-shirts as well.
Gotcha.
And follow John Thompson. Follow CSW, SouthlandCSW.com. Get your tickets. September 26th, you take on Irish Sean Mulligan. Steel cage, title on the line.
Yep.
In the Chaban Auditorium.
Shabant's, Shabant Civic Center. So
Awesome. Yeah. And get your tickets now. And John, I want to thank you very much
Thank
for
you
taking
for
time
having me. Appreciate
being on
it.
the Voice of Voiceless Wrestling
you.
Podcast.
Honor.
And
Thank
best
you.
of luck.
Thank you.
Come Saturday, September 26th, and have fun with that match tonight.
Absolutely, I will. Thanks.
Lots of action coming up, and of course, Night of Champions Sunday as well.
All
I
right.
want to thank you very much for being on the Voice of the Voiceless Pro Wrestling Podcast. Thanks to Darren for helping us with the video and getting us situated as well. And of course, Doug, thanks for periscoping as well.
Thanks again, man. Thanks
Next
again,
month,
Sean.
we'll be back with another episode of the Voice of Voiceless Pro Wrestling Podcast. Thanks for listening.
This is John Thompson, a.k.a. Lunatic, CSW Pro Wrestler. You're listening to the Voice of the Voiceless Podcast.